So the assignment is, I will do it with you, okay? That's what I meant. Don't worry about it, because it's not the assignment that should worry you, you know? But what I really would like to know that you know that stuff, you get exposed, and frankly, since we're going to use much more advanced tools, but I wanted you just to feel, to have a little feeling on the presentation layer. Now,
Okay.
it's not in the exam, it's not in the exam, okay? Presentation layer, it's not in the exam, okay? Second, what the good news? The good news is the exam is really fair. If you go and look, and you will see when you get out of the exam, you will tell me, wow, almost exactly what you said. It's exactly what on the exam. A third one, which is even better, they were complaining so much in the, whatever reason, I won't get into it. You can bring to the exam 5 one-sided pages, whatever you want, okay?
Okay.
I never did it before, but there were some circumstances, and I allowed to do that. Okay, so you can bring 5 one-sided pages to the exam. Okay, now let me say what is the best way to prepare for the exam. The best way is go over that really, and I will go by the importance. You really want to go over the review questions for the exam. You have it in English, okay? And I uploaded videos for both parts of the review question. Let me open it, okay? And I made videos in English for both parts. Please go over that. It doesn't take that long. And you, let's say you have above 70 to 80%, it's there, even more, I would say. Already close to 80 or 90, I should say. Now, see the videos. A lot of them we went over in class. Okay, I'm opening here. Okay, this is the review questions. And now the exam, the structure of the exam is really the type of questions I put here. In the exam, you expected to have, you will have 10 questions, multiple, I'm saying the exam, it's structured by first 10 questions are multiple choices, 4 points each. They are really very similar to the questions we have here. Let me go over them. I will go over here. If you see the questions of multiple choices, we have here multiple choices. I basically took questions from here, modified them a little bit, and down in the exam. Fair enough?
All right.
Okay. Just go over those one. If you don't understand any questions here, please go over my videos. I explain all of them and also give variation of what I might put in the exam. So going over those questions, it's really advisable. I mean, please do, okay?
Almost, where can we find the link for the explanations that you said?
Here we go. You go into the website, and right below, this is the questions themselves, and here is the videos. So if you do right click here, you should open in, here we go, it's open in YouTube, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And you really have, I went over all of them. This is for the open questions, and the other one is for the multiple choice. The question I just showed a second ago. Now, the other one is, the other part is for the open questions. What do I mean by that? You will have 2 questions, which is true, false, and you will have to kind of give explanation, okay? You have a kind of, one of them is like, here we go, let me go over here. We have here we go. True, false. State if the following statements are correct, not correct, and explain your answer. Business intelligence equips enterprises to gain business advantages for data, okay? Then you say, is it correct, not correct, and you give a short explanation. You know, 2 to 5 sentences, it's enough. Each one of those questions is 10 points. You have 2 of those. Together, we already have 60 points. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay.
Amor, is there
Yeah.
something specific you're going to ask about in the true and false question or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that, sweetie. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But first of all, I wanted everyone to know what to expect from the exam.
Okay.
Okay? So stage number 1 is you will have true, false. And in the true, false, it's just like this one. You'll have a question. I put some empty lines and you fill the answer right below it. Okay? That's each question is 10 points. That gives us 20 points plus 40 of the multiple choices, 60 points. Then I gave 2 open questions on this type. Let's take a, here's an example. The ETL process is one of the most important part of business intelligence. Describe the ETL process in detail. And that's I call open question. This one has 20 points. You have 2 questions of those. Total is 100 points. Okay, you're gonna have a 5-point bonus. That's the structure of the exam. Do not go to the exam if you don't know this question by heart. ETL, you must know by heart. It's the, you know, without it, it's, you know nothing about BI. You know, ETL is a major one. Second, okay, let me go and direct you also. Let me go into here, just one sec. I'm going to go to Academy City and I'm going to go to the course. And please know also this one by heart. It's so crucial to know. You see this picture, you need to understand it by heart. I'm going to go over that now. I like I like the picture in my book. So I'm going to go to my book for a second. And I'm going to go over that now. So please know this is not this one by heart. I'm downloading my book. It's the same picture. I just like the one in my book. This is the main page of my book. This picture, it's the BI process, okay? In the process of BI, we're starting from operational system and we're ending up with reports or dashboard. What's happening in the process? We're pulling data, that's the ETL process. The ETL is extract, E for extract, T for transform, and L for loading. So BI includes the process of ETL. So in the ETL, we extract the data from operational system, we're putting them on a staging area, okay? We're putting them in the staging area. As I mentioned in class, some people saying the staging area, it's before the data warehouse. I usually like to put them as part of the data warehouse. It's semantic, it's not the crucial. So I repeat, stage number 1, we're extracting the data from operational system. We're putting them in the staging area. Then we do the transform. We're transforming the data. What do we mean by that? We're making sure that all the data that come in, doesn't matter which system, they are all consistent. They are all clean. They are all cleans. What all those words mean? They are all scrubbed. All those you don't need to remember. If you remember, it's good. If you don't, it's fine. What it really means that if I have data in this database and in this database, for example, customer list, I use them here and I use them here. I want to make sure that I don't have duplicates. I don't have typos. I clean all the data so they are all consistent, okay? Then, after I clean the data, I want to load it two new tables. The new tables, there are two types, dimension tables and fact table. In the dimension tables, we're filling it up with the necessary column and we have a primary key. In the fact table, it's a table that has only numbers. We have two types of columns in the fact table. The first columns are columns that we will link to the dimension tables, the fact table. In the fact table, we have only numbers. We have two types of columns. The first type is type of columns that we're going to connect to the dimension table. The second column has the measures. For example, quantity, total sales, all of those are measures. Okay? After we load the data into that, sometimes, not necessary, if we do have an analysis server, we load the data into analysis server. But there are a lot of systems that skip that stage. After we have the data loaded, we start preparing report. We might use some data mining, something we will talk about it more in the next semester. Data mining, basically, it's some algorithms to help us to find some kind of phenomena in the data. For example, I might find that I'm selling mostly on Thursday. Thereby, I have to make sure that I will have all the product ready for Thursday, whatever product I'm selling mostly on Thursday. That's the objective of data mining. But I won't require that more. Okay? There are analytical queries. I won't ask about that more. But I do really want you to know that you prepare managerial reports, and eventually, from the report, you prepare dashboard. That's the BI process. Anybody has questions?
Amos, what's the difference between the fact table that we find before and like the facts that we have afterwards? Let's say like this.
No, the fact table is the same as I did in the class. I just went over that again.
Okay, but so we have just one
exactly
table.
What we learned
So
in class.
So the fact there is just one fact table. Like when somebody enters when data enters the data warehouse, there's just one fact table. Let's say there are no any more tables.
Very good question. Let me emphasize that. Beautiful. I'm glad you asked. In a data warehouse, we might have, okay, I'm shifting to a different kind of a question. Let's say I ask you, is data warehouse might have several fact tables, or I might ask, do I have in a data warehouse several data mart? I will in minutes explain what data mart is. Or can I have several cubes in the data warehouse? Let me clarify. A cube, it's a synonym name to a data mart. What is a cube? A cube, it's built from one fact table and several dimensions. That will give me one cube. So far, so good, everyone?
One fact table and many dimensions.
Exactly. That gives me one cube. So if I have two cubes, I will have two fact tables. The dimension tables will be connected to different fact tables. Thereby, I will have two cubes. If I have three, I will have three fact tables and dimension connecting to those fact tables. Everybody?
But we can have. I got this, but so there are no additional fact tables from those that are like connected to the dimensions. Basically, there are no other, let's say, additional or sub fact tables. Basically,
no, there's no sub fact tables, but I can say, let's say I have a one fact table dealing with employees. You know, when they start, you know, how many started to work in specific dates. So I have all the HR. It could be a fact table for HR. And then I will have dimensions that relate to HR. In addition, it could be one dimension, let's say the date, dim date. Dim date is a dimension, okay?
Okay.
In addition, I might have on the data warehouse, I will have also, let's say, a financial cube or financial data mart. That's a second fact table, and I have several dimensions connected to it. In the financial in the financial cube, I might have several different dimensions, but here is a very important type of dimension you should know for the exam. What is
The compared one.
conformed dimension? I have a video on that I ask you to look at it. Please do, it's good for you to know. It's only 5 minutes video, but I would say it now. Conformed dimension, it's a dimension that I use for different cubes. For example, the debt dimension could be used for the HR cube, could be used for the financial cube. Thereby, this dimension is filling the job of being in several cubes. They have a special name called conformed dimension.
What's the name of the dimension you just mentioned?
I just gave as an example date.
That?
D-A-T-E, dead dimension.
Okay.
We called it in the class dim date, if you recall. That's the way we call the dimension.
Yes.
Remember?
It's basically, Amos, a conformed dimension is basically a dimension that shares equivalent characteristics between facts.
Exactly. You can connect it to different cubes. The dim date is a very good example because it's most likely going to be in almost every cube. In every cube, you will use it.
Almost, can you call the conformed dimension a bridge table also, or no?
Well, that's a really, well, it's a very good question. I didn't ask it in the exam, but you're giving me good ideas. It could be a bridge. It could be a bridge table if I want to see one dimension in one cube versus something in dimension in the second cube. But that's more advanced question. I won't ask you. But the answer is true. It is. Okay, you can think about it. But I won't ask it in the exam. It's a beautiful question.
Thank God.
By the way, let me go over just a second showing you what those videos are. Please do it for you. They are so short. I think I put them here, if I recall. Let me see if I remember. No, not here. Let me see where I put it. Maybe here. Anybody remember? Maybe here.
I think
By the way, this is an excellent video. Watch it. It's, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. This is also a very good one. All of those, the short one, you don't have to spend some videos on SQL 4 hours. Don't waste your time. You don't need it for this exam. But let me find, where did I put it? Yeah, I think I put it maybe here.
It was in section 3.2. Yeah, dimensional modeling.
I think it's here, isn't it? No, the second one, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're right, thank you.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah, right here. Here it is. Yeah, those are really short one. Please watch this one. Please, it's excellent one. It's only.
They are all Indian videos. I didn't understand anything.
Watch those one. Each one of them is about 5 minutes.
Indian is India basically.
It's okay, but they're clear by the way.
I know.
Jonathan, are you
I'm joking.
racist? You're racist, Jonathan.
I'm not racist. I'm joking.
No. I understand what it means. It means that it's true. It's a fact. Their English is very heavy. It's really hard to understand them. But it's happy to be.
Gosh.
Those videos are quite good. Now the English is okay. Okay, I strongly recommend. If you have time, please watch them. But I did really want you to know what a bus architecture is.
I have a question almost.
I explained it in class. I made a little picture on the blackboard, on the whiteboard. And this one summarizing it nicely. So there's no point for me to go over it again. It's very easy to understand. Let me just summarize it in 2 or 3 sentences. But what is bus architecture? Okay?
It's a link between different data marts, no?
Exactly. Let's say I want to build up several cubes, and each cube will deal with a special topic. Let's say one is finance, one is HR, those are the examples I gave before. Let's say one of them is production, whatever. I can have several topics. Each topic, I would like to have a different cube / data mart. Okay? On the same time, I want to use dimensions in all those ones. So I want to design my plan. So I enumerate all the dimension on the horizontal line, and then I assign to each topic, okay, to each cube, which dimension I will be using. So I will be very consistent. So I don't have to use a lot of dimensions for each data mart. I might use the same one. The one that I use for more than one cube, we called them before conform dimension. Here it's a nice video that really explained it nicely. But if you write what I just said now, it's a complete answer. Good, so those one really short videos, excellent one. Let me go over and direct you. Okay, what I think, by the way, I really recommend that you know everything's here. This is data staging. You should know what data staging is. Sometimes it's called data staging area. There's an answer. In my video, you will see a complete answer about this question. But this is a topic you really should know, and I'm sure you know. Self-service BI, I don't think I asked, but it's good to know. Self-service is really what happened, like Power BI, it's designed for self-service, meaning that some managers can use BI for their own need without being dependent on the whole BI of the organization. Would I recommend self-service BI? I strongly would pull away from it and minimize. It's good for small businesses, okay? But a really sound organization shouldn't really be counting on self-service. But that's extension to my answer here. C is the right answer. Will meet some employees' information needs, but only up to a point. That's what I mean, okay? So that's one. Let's move on. How many, this one you should really know by heart. There's no way you don't know this answer. How many dimensions does a data cube have? Theoretically, as many as you want.
According to technical functionalities.
Exactly. Practically, let's say if I gave it as an open question. So that's the way I would answer. Theoretically, as many as
Not more than
want.
15.
Practically up to 15 because it will be overwhelming and usually people will get lost. Okay? That's a complete answer. How many columns will I have in a fact table? In a fact table, I will have the number of columns will be the number of dimensions plus the number of measures. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes,
Correct? David?
that makes sense.
You know, for every dimension, I should have a column in the fact table.
Yeah.
And then whatever left, they are the measures. I don't think I asked that one, but everybody know data mining. I don't think I asked about decision support. The reason I put it in the review question, it was important for me that you guys know this, regardless of the exam, okay? So please review question number 7. I just gave a little different story, but the idea is very similar. Question number 7. Let's move on.
Amos, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Foreign keys. Can you describe what a foreign key and how it's different from a primary key?
Beautiful. Let's take an example. Let's say I have a customer table. Customer table, we know we have a primary key. The objective of the primary key to make sure that every row is different than another one. So if I have Amos as a customer, Let's say Amos is number 1, and number 2 is Moriah. Okay, Moriah is not Amos, so therefore Amos is number 1, Moriah is number 2, David number 3, Daniel number 4, etc., etc. That's the table of customers. We have a primary key. Now, I want to develop a table for orders or invoices, or let's say even another example. Let's say, no, let's stick to that, and then I will give an extra example. Let's say I want invoices. Okay, I have a table of invoices. Amos might come to the store several times. Every time he comes, I will have a new row in the invoice table. So far, so good?
Yeah.
How do I connect the customer table to the invoice table? In the invoice table, I will add a column, and that column called a foreign key. It's a foreign key because it's connecting to the primary key. So a foreign key, it will be...
It's like an extension of the primary key.
Exactly, it's connecting to the primary key in the invoice, in the customer table.
Isn't a foreign key a primary key of another key?
A foreign key is not a primary key. It's a
No,
column.
it's a primary key from a different table.
Correct.
Like if-
It's connected. It's connected to a primary key from a different table.
It's referencing a primary key
Now,
from another table.
why I was, Moria, why I was careful in the way you should answer. For example, I didn't really ask it, but maybe in different, you know, in another exam, I might ask, and you should know the answer. Can I have in a foreign key repeating numbers? The answer is yes. For example, if Amos came to the store twice and it has 2 invoices, in the foreign key, Amos is number 1 in the primary key, so it will be in 2 rows or 3 rows, depending how many times he came to the store. Okay, but I cannot put in the foreign key, I cannot put a number that doesn't exist in the primary key. Fair enough?
Yep.
Good, beautiful. That's good. Very good. I'm very glad. That's beautiful. Okay. This is a nice question, and we went over that. And if you see my video, I covered it, and we talked about it also in class. Frankly, this is a really excellent preparation for the exam. If you know really this file, you know, if you know the question here, you're really quite prepared, honestly. Let me just peel up. You know, I'm not asking in the exam on CRM, and I'm not expecting you to know, but for you, CRM is an operational system, okay? So if I tell you, describe the ETL process, you will say ETL is extracting from operating system such as CRM. You might write something like that, okay? I'm not gonna ask you more than that. Here we talked about the difference between dashboard and balance scorecard, and also we mentioned the report. I don't think I asked about it in the exam, but if I did,
Hear me?
you should know the answer by watching the answer that I gave for this question. Let's move on. Let's see here. This one you should know, is that right? You already know. What are the requirements from a fact table? Okay, we know fact table should have only numbers. We should have numbers that are connected to dimensions, and we have numbers that are columns that have measures. That's a complete answer. Okay.
So there are two requirements basically.
Exactly. What about
Numbers
dimension
and measures
table?
in the fact table.
Dimension table has to have a primary key.
No, in the fact table I was saying.
In the fact, you're right. There's 3 requirements. 1, everything in the fact table is numbers. Some columns will be designed to be connected to dimension tables, and some columns are measures. Why I specify the 3 requirements? It's true that in the columns that connecting to dimensions, there are numbers, but there will be integers. On the other hand, for the measures, you might use a float. Floated means I have decimal point. Because for example, if I want price, I will have 2 digits after the decimal point for the cents. How many cents? For example, let's say the price is $10.50. I will have that 50 cents. This column will be a float. It's different than integer that I will use to connect to dimension table. Is that clear?
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Beautiful. That's really, it could be like 3 sentences, you're done with this question. And when do we, I will get to this question in talking about, okay, what is data amount? Data amount, first of all, it's a cube. So you just define what a cube. Data amount is a cube, and a cube is made of dimensions and fact. And if you have time, just add a fact is such and such, a dimension, very simple. You already know it by heart. ETL, we went over it, okay? That one, we also went over it. Let me tell, please know also the answer for that one. I'm emphasizing it because you spent too much time in the Excel question course, and I think it was a waste of time in my opinion. And so I'm emphasizing, we studied SQL. What's the difference between Power BI or query in Excel to what we did in the class? If you recall, we pulled data in our class from the PTO database, and we built new tables for dimension and new tables for the facts. Remember?
Yeah.
We pull data from the PTO and we insert them inside the new table that we put in a new database. Each team had its own database. Okay, what happened in the Power BI? The Power BI, you're pulling data, but you're not creating any tables. So
It's already created.
no, it's the whole process. When I'm opening a report, it has to pull always the data from the source. And it's a waste, it's very inefficient. On the other hand, when I'm making a report based on the tables that we created, it will work much faster. That's an answer to Moria, why I really love you to do the assignment, the last one. Because in the last assignment, I'm asking you to connect Power BI not to the source, but to the database you created during the course.
Amos, what did I tell you about the assignment?
There's no assignment.
No, but what did I tell you about it? I said that if you would have given it to me in the right time, I would do it.
No, we're going to do it together.
Okay, but I'm not submitting anything.
Don't worry, I said don't worry about it. It's recorded, remember?
Okay, fabulous.
So you shouldn't worried about it. I'm not concerned and not worried, but I really would like you to know it. Therefore, we're going to have a session with all the class and we'll do it together.
Okay.
That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
that's because it's really important for me that you know the stuff, you know, more than the grade. The grade is not, I don't really care about the grade, honestly. I really care that you know.
everybody.
For everyone, honestly.
That's pretty cool.
I think this should be the academics. The academics world should be about that you get the best job you can get and be the best employee in the job you got. That's the objective.
Let's say you don't want to be an employee.
Oh, you got it. But
got
sometimes
it.
when, no, you got it. You got me right on the money. You sometimes want to study from others. So you be an
True.
employee for a while. So you
Yeah.
learn from other ones, but your main goal, you must be a self-employed. If you're not self-employed, you're missing something in your life. That's my philosophy. Honestly,
But you need funds to open a startup.
don't
It's
worry
fun.
about it. You'll find the fund. You know, I used to work, just side comment. I work in the best company in the US, in my opinion, called Lexicon. After 4 or 5 years about, I left and opened my own business and building up ERP for the diamond industry. I knew nothing about diamond. I knew nothing about software. But, and it's the best things I've ever done. It was wise because I knew that I have to be self-employed and I should have my own company at some point. And it changes you. It makes you a different person. And I think that's what you should. But it's beautiful. I mean, I can't really, I got from lexicon, I wish, you know, if you apply to that company, I will give you a recommendation. But first I have to make sure you'll be able to survive there. It's the best company in the United States, honestly.
Can we make that a bonus question?
Yeah. Anyway, okay, let me move on. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Here we go. Number 8, it's the BI process I mentioned. We just went over that. Let me see. All the rest are open, they are easy questions. Let me go over joint. You should know joint. Please, please, please learn what a left joint is and learn what is outer joint. Remember, let me go over it. Inner joint, when you get 2 tables, okay, you have 1 table and a second table. You connect between them. I'm going to close the microphone for you. So it's only here. And then I will open it. Okay. What is inner joint? I have table A and table B. Table A for me is the left side. Table B is the right side. Inner joint is connecting those 2 tables, and it's connecting only rows that have the same index in the column I am connecting. So if table A has column 1 and table B has column 1, and I'm connecting using column 1 in both tables, the results of the query will be of the rows in both tables. So inner joint, let's open the microphone. Everybody is cool?
No.
Yeah.
Inner joint is, if I have, let's say table A has 200 columns. Table B has 100 columns. I am doing the inner joint. Now I'm asking you, let's say if you understood my explanation. What is the maximum number of rows that I would get in the query?
50.
The ones that match. They have to match each other.
So if I have in table A 200 and table B I have 100, what is the maximum?
But do they match?
100 if
is
they
the
match.
maximum, but that's the max, but doesn't mean they match.
Is the maximum 200 or 100?
100.
100, exactly.
Yeah.
Because only 100 can match. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, could it be less than 100?
Yeah, it could be less.
Yes, because might be that in table B, I have some indexes that don't exist in table A. So it could be less than 100. Could it be more than 100? Definitely not.
But on left join, it could be more on the left side, more than
hold it.
the right
We go
side.
step by step. Bear with me. First of all, inner joint. In inner joint, I cannot have more than 100 records in the results. I can have 100 or less. Now let's jump to a left joint. In the same example, in a left joint, what is the maximum number of rows that I might have?
The left join, you'll have all 200 in left join.
Or I might have all the left means if I
Everything.
have A left joint B, that means give me all the rows of table A. If table A I have 200, I will get all the 200, regardless if I have a matching in table B. Everybody got it?
But in B, you'll only get the ones that match, right?
Exactly. Oh, now I will add, when I'm getting the results, I'm getting all table A, but which rows I will get from table B? Only the rows that have a match in table A. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Left join joins them both even if they don't match? You're saying?
No, I'm
No.
saying here is the following way. Left joint means give me table A regardless if it has any match with table B. That's stage number one. Everybody happy with that? So
Yeah.
everything's in table A, I'm getting. So I'm gonna get 200 rows. So far so good?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Which kind of rows will I get from table B? From table B, I will get only rows that has a match in table A.
But the ones that don't have a match, you'll get like null,
And
right?
they're thrown
Inside.
away. They're thrown away.
There, you don't get null inside where it says null.
Nothing. Oh, beautiful. So now, Amos, let's say, for the example, that only 60 from table B has a match with table A. So how will be the result looks like? I will get 200 rows, all the data from table A, but only 60 rows from table B. All the other 140 rows, there will be null. There will be empty.
Yeah.
Everybody got it?
Is there such thing as a right join then?
Hold on,
Yeah.
that's a left join. Hold a second. We will in minutes, we'll talk about right join, okay?
It's the same but opposite.
First of all, yeah, but I want to emphasize, and that's why I don't want to give a half answer. Everybody happy with left join?
Yeah.
Moria?
Yep.
Good. David?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Daniel?
Yeah, I'm good.
Happy. Good. Now, I want to keep the same example, but I want to use right joint. Let me go over the process. A, right joint B, meaning give me all the rows that they are in table B, regardless if they have any match in table B. So the minimum numbers of rows that I will get will be 100. I will get all table B. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Good. Now, what do I get from table A? Only the one that has a match in table B. From the previous example, we know there is only 60. Therefore, I will have 100 rows from table A and only 60 from table B. Which ones? The one that has a match with table B. Everybody is happy?
No, can you repeat it?
This is the right joint.
Yeah, this is the right joint. Right joint means if I say right A, right joint B, meaning give me all table B, regardless if I have any row that match with table B. That's stage number one. Stage number
We want to see the
two.
matches with A.
Oh, in addition, if there is any row that in table A that matches any row in table B, it will also bring it to me. In my example, there will be 60. What happened to the other 40? The other 40 will have a blank because we don't have any match in table A.
Almost you have low battery on your laptop.
No, it's fine. It's
Oh, okay.
no, my battery is, even I'm connected to the, hold a second, maybe it doesn't work. What happened there? 1 second, thank you. How about now? Yeah, now it's fine. Thank you. I didn't stick the electricity as it should. Now it's fine. Thank you.
Oh, yes, okay.
Wow, that's good. Who was that?
David,
David, thank you.
no
Okay,
problem.
good.
He was a good guy.
Okay, now I want to go to the most complicated one. Okay?
Whoa.
A, full outer joint B. I repeat, A, full outer joint B. What does that mean? That means give me all the record in table A and also give me all the rows in table B. So I'm getting all the rows. So what if I ask in the exam, what is the minimum number of rows that I would get in this example?
You would get all of them.
Oh, which is how many?
Nothing. There's no minimum.
260. No, like
Don't
everything that exists.
fall. Be careful. Let's see who is the smartest guy here. Remember,
300.
we have, hold a second. I remind you, we have 200 in table A, we have 100 in table B, but we have only 60
360.
that they are matching. Therefore, I will repeat, when I say A out, full outer joint B, I am getting all the record in A and the record in B. So how many rows I should have? Okay, the minimum must be 200. It has to be even more than 200, and we'll see in a minute. Because I'm getting all the A. In A, I have 200. Could it be more than 200? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
try?
Yeah. You should have
How many?
300.
How many?
360.
How many extra above 200?
240. Because 60 match and B.
Beautiful. 240 is the right answer. Why?
Because if they're a match, you don't want to have the same redundant data.
Exactly. In the
table.
match, they will match already. So 60, they already will be matched with the 200. But we have extra 40 in table B, which has no match. And I'm getting them also. So the table will have 240 rows. What will be the structure of this new table? We'll have, on the left side, we'll have 200 from table A and 40 blank rows, correct?
Yeah.
And on the right side, we'll have 100 rows that are full from table B, but there will be 140 blank. So let's see if I can make a picture. Hold a second. Oh, because I didn't try that. I should really buy a pen. I didn't have time. Let's say I have table A. Fair enough. We have here 200, and here we have table. I will intentionally put it this way. Okay. Everybody happy? Everybody see that?
Yeah.
This one is
Yeah.
table A. And this one, let me make it bigger.
Number.
Let me try again. Hopefully it will take it. Why it doesn't like me?
You have to highlight it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, beautiful. That's the A. And now I'm going to do the B. Beautiful. Now, we said we have 100 here. We have 100 here. We said we have
200 on the A.
exactly, and we have 200 on the A. Now, we also know that we have in this side, we have 60 that exist in both of them, correct?
Right.
Beautiful. So let me write here 60. Okay, so what we're going to get in the final result, we're going to get all the 100 here. Those 60, they are connected. So the table will look like, the table will be like this kind of a table. Okay, we're getting all the 200 from here. So that's part, let's make it this way. That's the final result, okay? I will have 200. The whole A, that will be A. I will have all the B. Moya, you like my painting?
Love it.
Okay, we're putting B here.
Edo, help him. Come on.
And those one are the matching. It's one long row that has the whole data from A and B. Those are the 60. Here we'll have a empty. Those one will be, let me make it smaller. Those will be null. They are blank. Is that right? And those also will be blank. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
So if I have 60 here, those are 100. It must be that the total from here to here will be 240 because this is 200, A is 200, 60 matching. I know that B is 100. This is must be 40. So it's 240. Good? Questions? Beautiful. Now you know everything. You know joint, you know left joint, you know right joint, and you know full outer joint. I will keep this one. What do you think?
Is this one of the multiple choice questions on the test?
I might, yeah, I think I have a question on that. A little hard, I know.
Shit.
But you know the answer, so it's easy. Is that right?
You just have to subtract the one that matches.
Exactly. Subtract the one that don't match. Exactly right.
So this is a full outer joint B, this graph, right?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's say it was the opposite
That's
then.
full outer joint. Let me write it here. Let me write it here. A. Fair enough? A full outer joint B. Sorry about that. It should be saying B here. That's it. That's what you get. So let's write the whole things. Select. Okay, for, should say, let me take it aside, right? Hold a second. Let me move that aside. I should, let me write the whole complete command. I'll be for, and it's a customer, A, orders, B, okay, no, from, okay, from customer A, hold a second, sorry about it. Let me just make it the right way. Come on, be nice to me. Why he doesn't like me?
You have to keep it out.
You will like me now. Okay. Let me do that. This is the complete command. Okay. Select all the columns from customer. Customers is table A, full outer joint, orders, which is table B. This is a complete sentence. comment.
David, shut your mouth. Screw you.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
I think this is cool. I will upload it. Good.
Excuse me, Jonathan.
Jonathan, everyone is happy?
Wait, what just
I
happened?
don't know. Ask them. I'm happy.
Oh, happy is good.
What's the star? Select star.
This is the SQL command. Select from those two tables, customers and orders. Customers is table A, orders is table B, and the connection is customers A, full outer join, orders, which is table B. You know, I could have written customers as A, but it doesn't make a difference. Good, I'm gonna save it and I'll upload it somewhere. Good. Questions? Everybody know this one? Perfect. Let's go back. So we covered this one, we covered this one. What is integrity? You can read. That's simple. I
Is
didn't
that
write
on the test?
I don't think I put it. No, I didn't. I don't think I put that one. Auto increment, you should know, but you should know. Truncate, you know. Drop, you know. What does the following command result? What do I have here? Okay, what do I have here? We have select from customer and order C and O. We're connecting those two tables. And we also filtering by names that is Gene. Okay, so let's see. Show all the records of customer with the name Gene. What is the next one? Show all the customers that already purchased in the past. Shows the details of the orders without the product. The right answer is A. It's true, I'm showing only orders done by Gene. That's what this part does. That's why B is correct. How do I know that C is correct? Shows only customers that already, let me move it down. So
Had already ordered for it to be in the
Wait a
system.
second.
Right?
That was me. I'll just do it like that. It will be easier for you to see. Okay. The reason B is correct is because we have this filtering,
The equal?
this one. This part says that I get only customers that their first name is Gene.
Okay.
Okay? That's B. Why C is correct? Shows only customers that's already purchased in the past. Say if I didn't purchase anything, I wouldn't be in the order. Is that right?
Yeah.
Therefore, when I'm connecting here, this connection is like inner join. That means if I didn't buy, I won't see those customers. Correct? So it's like, in this example, it's like inner join. And in inner join, it has to be in this table and in this table as well. So it only shows me customers that already purchased. If I didn't purchase, I won't be in the orders.
So you want
That's
Gene?
why C is correct.
Okay.
What about D? Shows the details of the orders without the products. I remind you, what do we have in the orders? We have the details of the orders. When I came to order, the date, my name, who's the customer for the foreign key connected to the customer table. But I don't have the detail which items I purchased. For the items, I need extra table.
Okay.
Is that right? For every order, I might have several items. And therefore, I will have to have extra table connected to the orders. So that's why D is correct, because I don't have a third table. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, good.
So if we answered either, so we should answer A.
You should answer A. That's the best question.
If we answer one of the other ones, they're still technically correct. Do we still get the
They are
point?
all correct, but then I will have to use my judgment if I give you a partial answer.
Okay.
But I'm
Hope you
counting
are
on
lenient
you.
in the judgment, Amos.
I'm counting on that everybody will answer
Rahman.
A.
It's not
Which data
integer.
type
It's
should
not integer,
have
it's B.
a field customer number in courses table? I don't like, it's not in the exam.
It's an
But it has
integer.
I don't like the
because
way
the
it's
course
phrased.
could
It
have a
should
number,
be,
a character.
see, it's definitely it should be integer if customer number is going to be a primary key, which it should be for a table of courses. Is that right?
Yeah.
If customer number is the primary key of courses, I definitely would choose integer because it takes the least space.
Okay.
Okay,
But if it's not a
more
primary key,
faster. So that's why A is the right number. But you have to make an assumption in the question it's not really given to you. So I'm not really, I usually don't like question when I write them this way. Okay?
same.
I like to give you more detail. I might say which data type should have a field like course number, parentheses, is a primary key in a course table, something like that. So you don't have to guess. Okay, but the one that I do really want to go over, it's something like, all right, let's go over this one. We went over that in class. Let's go over that one more time. Okay, by the way, here is missing a comma. Should be a comma here. When I have a select, I have aggregation functions, and I have group by. Okay, aggregation functions go with group by or without a group by. So let me do two examples. Let's start with the simple one. Let's say the comment was just like that. Simple comment, no group by, okay? And I would like to ask you guys, how many rows should I get now?
1.
One, exactly right. Because I'm operating on the whole table. Fair enough? Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this table should have some rows.
Oh, I
Why just one
I
row?
will get, no, only one row. Only one
Different
row.
line columns.
There are several columns. This is a
Yeah.
column, this is a column, this is a column. All those are columns. But I would have one row. Everybody happy?
Well, I don't understand why there's only one row.
Why one row? I
See,
still don't
think
understand.
about it, okay? You have, this is the table. You know what I would do? Bear with me a second. Yeah, you know what? It's worth really. Let me connect to the database.
But because
And
it's
I
an
will,
aggregate.
I will try to explain until it's open. See,
Right.
what you're doing here, you're pulling the data from this table. Is that right? This is the table you're operating on. What you are asking, go to the column called hourly rate. Take the average. You know, let me make it simple. How about this one? That's the hell with the rest. What are we getting here? We literally getting one column and one row. And that one, it only has one number. It gives me the average of hourly rate. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because you're taking just the average from all the.
I'm getting average of one column called hourly rate. And I'm going to do it in a minute. Okay? I'm going to do just that. To demonstrate it. Let's change this one too.
Holy shit.
No, it's the PTO. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, we're getting one color, one number.
Arrête,
86.
Raphaël.
This is really operating on the whole column hourly rate. Fair enough? Everybody got it?
Yeah.
I understand. Thank you.
Good. Now, let me open a second this table. And let's go to the tables. Okay, we have a table called hours. Let me open it. We have a lot of columns. Fair enough?
Yeah.
How about if I wanted the average of this column? I can go here and I do a comma and I will write average, parentheses, Control V. Now, how many columns should I get? And I would like to call this column Amos. How many columns should I get now?
2.
2, excellent. How many rows?
1 row.
1 row, excellent. Execute. Oh, see, the second row column, it's Amos. That's why I wanted to call it. It's not the right name. I should really probably call it like hourly cost or something like that. Make more sense. I just wanted for demonstration, really. Run it, will be the same, but the column name will be different. Okay, now I would like to do the same things, but this time I want it per employee. Okay, so I'm taking employee ID and I'm adding it right before the first one, putting a comma. And now we will get confused. It will tell you if I will run it, it should complain. Let's run it. It should complain. You see, it's complaining. Why is it complaining? It says, you know, you're using aggregation function and you're not telling me how do you want to aggregate it. It seems like it's clear, but it's not. So you should add group by, and you put employee ID. Now it's a complete. It tells me to give me group by, do the average per employee. Per employee, this is what it means per employee. Show me the result. By the way, let's try this one. How many columns should I get now? 2.
2, yeah.
How many rows? As many as employees. Let's run it. But why? I won't get any error. It gives me 1 for every employee. But I don't really know. This is not a good way to see it. This is the reason why I'm adding this one. Now it will give me 3 columns. It will give me the average hour per employee, and I know to which employee it belongs to.
Celui-là près de la gare?
You got it?
Celui-là qui est près de la gare?
Yeah.
Everybody happy?
De la gare?
Because you put in group by, it goes by automatically, right?
The objective of this one, it's not the aggregation really. This one is just so I will have a column. I know it.
Alors frère, c'est le chemin d'un marina pour passer dans mon travail. Dis-moi quand tu parles, tu vas comprendre au passage.
Ruben, just maybe.
Ruben.
Tu vas, après, tu vas à Tel Aviv ou Ramat Aviv?
Ruben.
Quoi? Ramat Aviv ou Tel Aviv?
Mute. Somebody mute his microphone.
Ah, bah laisse tomber frère, c'est une galère. Le bus il me dépose en bâtiment.
Okay, I'm gonna make everybody quiet. No, but I don't want to.
Bon, vas-y, appelle-moi, on va.
No, can you make him quiet, sir?
Yeah, I can control everyone. Okay.
Almost.
Everybody happy? Everybody
No, I have a
happy?
question.
Everybody understood that command?
I get it, but I have a question for you.
Sure.
Let's say if you didn't put select employee ID, what will happen?
Well, here on the top,
Yeah.
nothing. It will just give me 2 columns. But I want to
Okay,
know
yeah.
to which employee
Could
it
you run
belongs
it?
to. Let's run it.
Yeah.
See? No errors, because everything is fine. But I don't know really who is the employee it belongs to. Because the one
Okay.
that tells me the aggregate by employee ID, this part.
Okay.
But this one tells me which columns to show me. I will get the 2 columns, but I don't really know to which employee it belongs to. That's why I'm adding this part. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Beautiful. Okay, let's go back to our question. Let's see if there's any more left. I think we are doing good. Oh, okay. This is the one that's really important for me. And I'm going to add one thing. Let's take this one.
It's a query for query.
That's what we call subquery.
Subquery.
Query for query. It's the same.
Are these questions more on the test, like these type of
This one
questions?
definitely on the test.
Shit.
Okay. But
Okay. Let's understand what we have. Why does it called subquery query? This is a query by itself. Is that right? Let's
Yeah.
run it.
Yeah.
Let's run it. What do we get? We're getting all the IDs from the people table for employees that were hired before this date. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, what am I asking here? Give me all the columns from this table. But don't give me for all the rows, only the rows that belongs to employee, that his ID, it's part of the second SQL. Everybody got it? Give me the rows from the table of hours that in the hours table, the employee ID is inside the result of this query. This query gave me a list, as we see here. Now, from this table, from the hours table, give me all the columns, but which rows? Only the rows that belongs to employee that are part of this list. Everybody got it?
Got it.
Beautiful. Let's run it. It will take a little time. Okay, hold a second. Sorry. Let's run it. He doesn't like me. Why he doesn't like me? I know why he doesn't like me. Anybody? Because here I'm using the default database Amos, but really this table doesn't exist in Amos. It exists only in here. So if I copy this one, I would be fine. It will run now. Okay, good. I'm getting all the columns. You see that? But only the ones that the ID here, it's part of the list we're getting here. Now, I trick you in the exam. How about if I write here, insert into XXXX? What does that mean? Anybody? Anybody wants to help me out?
David knows what that one is.
You're putting that data into
A different table.
table.
Beautiful. Everything that came out from this, I want to insert it into this table.
Which is the XXXX, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's 4. It's not 3. So it's.
I know. It's not 3, obviously.
Is this creating a new table though? This is creating a new table?
No, it's not creating. The table should be created. I will get an error now. Why should I get an error?
Because it doesn't exist.
It's not created.
It doesn't exist. Excellent. Okay, let's do it. This is beautiful. Let me do it, okay? Let's do it. I'm going to take this table, and this is the last things we need to do, really. I'm going to use, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do right click.
Okay.
I'm going, if you see there is something in SQL, create, no, not create, no, into query. Beautiful. This is how I create a table called hours. Just take a little time. Beautiful. I'm going to change the command. Instead of hours, I'm going to put here XXXX. Run it. Okay? I'm going to run it. It's created a table. Is that right? Let me refresh it. Let me refresh this one here. I will delete it in a second. But let's refresh this. I have a new table. I have XXX. One thing I need to remove here so I won't get an error. Let me just make sure the definition. I didn't look at that before. I should have done it before. Let's go to design. Anybody have a clue what I'm looking
Coughing.
for now? I just want to make sure there is no primary key there. Otherwise, I will get, it's not automatic. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, good. I won't get an error. Let me close it. Okay, if I ran this command, what will happen? Anybody?
If you what? I
In
didn't hear
fact, I'm going to take all the data from the hours table, but not all the table of hours, only for employees that the ID is in this SQL. And then whatever comes out from here is going
gonna
to
insert
go
into there?
inside this table. Does that make sense?
that. Is it sort of like a view because you're taking everything?
It's a beautiful way to say it. I could have put this one in a view, and that could have been a simple way, but no, this is not a view. I'm
I know, it's
actually
similar.
physically taking the data from here and putting it in a new table that I just created. Let's run it. So this is inserting data from the hours table, okay? But which rows I'm using? Only rows that the employee ID is for people that have started to work before 2003, or 06, or 09. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay. If I were to put this one and ask you a question, which table will have more rows? The hours table or the XXX? Which one will have more rows?
Hours table.
Hours table because it's
Definitely,
everything.
because I'm putting only subset of the hours,
Yeah.
only for employees that were hired before. So XXS will have always less rows than hours or the same. If everybody is in the list, then I will get the whole. But if some employees didn't start before 2003, then they will not show here. Okay, beautiful. Everybody got it? Moria?
Yep, I'm listening.
Is that good? You got it?
Yep.
David?
Yeah, I got it.
Beautiful. Jonathan?
Yeah, I got it.
Everybody?
Yeah, we got it.
You know,
Do we have
this
time
is
at the end?
question that's in the exam.
There's a question on the exam like this?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember, but it's a good one.
It is a good one.
So, Amos, basically you are inserting all of this new data following the filter about employee and the subquery condition.
Correct.
Like from hours to the, you are basically inserting all of this data from the hours to the 4x table.
And then I'm putting it inside the XXXX.
Okay, sabab.
Yeah. Now, in fact, if I go and do right click here, this table has should have some information inside, whatever I inserted. So this one shouldn't be
But you
empty.
created a table with the insert into, you created the table basically?
No,
With the
I
insert
created
into.
it before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't create the table.
View does.
Okay.
This one doesn't create, it's only inserting information inside this table.
Mm-hmm.
The table
Will we
should be
have time-
created before. Otherwise, you saw before I created it, I got an error. And then I created it, I didn't get an error.
Do we have time at the end to ask you questions?
Yes, go ahead. Now is the time, I'm done.
Okay. For the sources of data, the differences between file data source and machine data source, I looked at the videos and I looked what you said at Academy City, but I still don't really understand.
Same.
Like,
It's not in the exam. So after the exam, come to me, I will explain to you.
it's not in the exam?
It's not.
Oh, okay, great. One more question. Is business intelligence and business analytics the same thing?
It's a tricky question. Business intelligence include some types of analytics. Okay? Which kind of analytics business intelligence include? Include understanding the data. Okay? That's why you're making a cube, and from the cube, you make like a managerial report. Usually, you don't really run algorithm, but sometimes you do. Like what data mining, some people say data mining belongs or doesn't belong to business intelligence. If you ask me, I would tell you definitely it is. But when I use data mining, it's usually to understand the data, okay? Not to predict, although data mining has some predictions algorithm, but usually it's misused for business intelligence, okay? To answer your question, is analytics, it's part of business intelligence? The answer is yes. Which kind of analytics? Analytics that help me to understand the data.
Okay.
That's a complete answer. Now there's analytics of forecasting, and people getting confused with that. Usually forecasting and all of that, it belongs to another, but many times you will see people speaking about, for example, operational BI. Is operational BI might have some analytics that I will use inside operational system? Definitely yes. But is it a classical BI? It is not. It's not in the exam, but it's a good thing to know, okay?
What about OLAP? Like online?
Not on the exam.
It's not on the exam? Okay.
Okay, but OLAP, you can think about OLAP for your purposes. I don't really remember. I don't know if it's in the exam, in fact. I don't want to mislead you. But OLAP for you is a synonym for business intelligence. It's not the right answer, what I just told you, but for your course, for this course, you can think about OLAP as a synonym to business intelligence.
Okay, could you explain the bottom up?
Also, it's
That
not
over-
in the exam.
It's not on the exam?
No.
Okay. Are any of the way the database built on the exam?
Which one?
Are any of the ways like on the exam? Like none of them bottom up database, none of them are on the
No,
exam?
no. This is really important for me that you see those videos. They are on the exam. Let's say there's one of them is conform dimension. Please do see this one. See those videos, they are short. They are 5 minutes, I think, each, or 10 minutes stop. Okay, this is on the exam. Strongly recommend, I don't remember if I did put or not, but I think anyone that study business intelligence should really read this page or two. I don't know how many pages are here. Nothing happen if you don't fully understand it, okay?
What about cloud data services?
No, I'm not, it's not on the exam, but I really strongly recommend you read it. It's only 2 or 3 paragraphs, but it's not on the exam.
Oh,
But I would read it. If I were a student, honestly, I would read it. It's
okay.
all on the exam. Read the whole page here for yourself. You know, you're already studying for the exam. After the exam, you might don't come back to it. And it's only, I don't know, maybe there is I don't know how many pages here. This is a good one to watch. Okay. This one you don't have to watch. This one is nice to watch. Here, you asked before. This is really a complete answer. And I think this is only how many minutes is this one?
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Yeah, this is maybe 5-7 minutes. Okay.
He's
It's
just
a
trying to
good
sell his services.
Yeah, this is a good one. A real data warehouse. This is a good one. Frankly, read it. It's worth the time, even if it's not on the exam. Benefit
Okay.
of data warehouse. I would watch it. I didn't give you here like 5 hours to watch. It's maybe total, you get to 40 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe an hour top. The whole videos. And most of the stuff you already know. Say, for example, don't waste your time knowing this table, definitely. But if you read it, strongly recommend. Read it once. If you remember, it doesn't matter. At least you saw it once. It's good for you. Business intelligence versus data analytics. Okay? Blah, blah, blah. I would read it. This page, I don't know how much. It take you 20 minutes, half an hour, top. Move on. Don't read my book in this point. No, don't waste your time on that now. Okay? I gave you only the first page. I covered what the main page. Okay, but if I were a student, I would read this page. If you remember or not, it's not crucial. Most of it is not on the exam. I already said what. So.
I have a question on the multiple choice, one of them.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you pull it up? It's multiple
there
choice
we go.
question 26. 26.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, so I don't understand this one.
All right, let's see. The students table will include information about the student. Which additional fields it should include? Okay, student table is connecting to another things. Is that right? Okay, so let's start slowly. Should it include primary key?
Yeah, because it needs to connect to the course table. No?
Don't hold a second. No. I'm going step by step. If you already asked, and it's a good question, in fact. Let's say, should it include a primary key?
I think yes.
Definitely yes, because a student is an entity, and every student should be distinguished from another student. So you should have a column of a primary key. So far, so good?
Yes.
Good. Now let's bring it back. So I distinguish it from writing it this way. A primary key of the courses table. Should it have a column that is, this one is a nonsense sentence now, if you notice.
I understand
Primary
why.
key of the courses table, why should it have a primary key of the courses table? Primary key of the courses, it's in the courses table. It's a nonsense sentence. You notice?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is not the right answer. Why A is the right answer? Why B is not the right answer? Okay, because a student, every student can be enrolled in many courses. In any course, many students could be enrolled in that course. Therefore, you must have a bridge table. In another word, let's go back to here, make a new one.
This is going to be on the exam, right?
Definitely.
Shit.
No, it's easy. It really is easy. I have a student table. I have courses table. Okay. These are students. And this is courses. Beautiful. Now question. In the courses table, we'll have a lot of rows. Should I have a primary key here? Definitely yes. Each course will have his own primary key. Student. Every student have his own row. Should I have a primary key here? Definitely yes. I will distinguish one student from another. If one student can be enrolled in many courses. So let's say for the first student, he can be enrolled. He can be enrolled in many courses. Is that right? Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. One student can be enrolled in several courses.
Yes.
Is that right? Here we go. Here's an example. He's enrolled in 2 courses. This course, let's take the first one. Okay, let's say this course. The first student is enrolled into, but also might be another student also enrolled for it. Let's say this student. There's another student here. Can this student also enroll in the same course?
Yes.
Definitely yes. So what do we get? We have
Many.
every student can be enrolled in many courses, and every course can be many students enrolled in one course. You cannot have a connections like that by adding another column here and another column here. It will never work. I never proved that to you, but take my word for it. In order to allow that, this one will never work by connecting the 2 tables together. It will never work. In order to have this kind of relationship, you must include extra table, and this table called a bridge table, and it will have at least 2 columns.
So all
Now,
those
this
buttons-
one will be connected let's say twice. That means he's enrolled in 2 courses. And here, I will connect this one, let's say to this course, and I will connect, let's say I have another course he's enrolled into. I will have to do it this way. Otherwise, it won't work. So the first student enrolled in those 2 courses. The second student, I will enroll him here. And let's say he's also taking, let's say he's taking only 1 course. He's taking only 1 course. So let's say he's taking this course also. Now that will work. I have to have a bridge table. Without a bridge table, you cannot connect those 2 tables. The relationship between students and courses, it's many to many. From here to here, it's 1 to many. From here to here is 1 to many. But from here to here, it's considered as many to many.
You always need a bridge table for a many system.
You must have a bridge table, otherwise it will not connect them. From here to here, I will have many to many. Okay? From here to here is many to many. From here to here is 1 to many. From here to here is 1 to many. From here to here is considered many to many. To have a many to many, you must have a bridge table in the middle. Got it? Let's save that one also. I will save this one also. I call that one many to many. More questions? Okay, I will tell you good luck, guys.
Thank you, Amos.
Thank you, Amos.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Amos.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.